everyone, 𝘱𝘬𝘊𝘆𝑚onetized here, and in today's video I am doing a question and answer. I have questions from you guys. Most of these came from my Instagram inbox, and I got a couple of them through comments, and so I wanted to just answer them to everybody because I'm sure some of you also have the same questions. One, and two, I feel like I can explain my answer so much better in the form of a video versus typing back to you. And I'll be able to just give you more information in a shorter period of time. So thanks for being here. I missed you guys yesterday. I always try to make a video every day. That's my intention when I get up in the morning, but sometimes the day gets away from me. We made new all-time highs in Ethereum yesterday. Absolutely wild. So let's get into it. Just wondering what, if any, software you use to keep track of all your transactions, trades, and locations of coins. I'm just using a very simple spreadsheet, but looking for something a little more advanced. So basically when it comes to tracking my cryptocurrency, most of it's here. Like I could tell you pretty much how much I have of what coins, where, which coins are stored, how much. I'm in and out of these accounts so frequently that I pretty much store a lot of it up here. But it's important that you find a way to track this. And that is because what's gonna happen, for example, it happened to me, the bear market hit, right? And there was, I wasn't really planning on selling my crypto. I was just gonna hold all the way through. And so I stopped logging into my accounts, and then I started forgetting what I had. And then sometimes I will just stumble upon funds that I had no idea I had. So it's really important to keep track. But I do have a spreadsheet, and I do it so old school, and it's not efficient at all, but I have a spreadsheet and I just change the prices of my coins, and then I just kind of see my portfolio balance there. And then I have a little pie chart on the side to kind of see how, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and alts, what my little pie chart looks like for my portfolio. But I used to use an app called Blockfi, and I highly recommend that app. I'm pretty sure it's still free. What you're able to do is you can basically add a coin, and you're adding it from the specific exchange that you have it on, and then you could put how many you have. So since the prices fluctuate a little bit between all the exchanges, then you get to actually see in real time, all in one snapshot, what your portfolio looks like. And in that case, since you're selecting the exchange of the coin, then it's another way of keeping track of exactly where the coins are at. I saw in your videos that you loan from platforms like Celsius while earning interest on many other platforms like Blockfi. So just to be clear, I have not taken out a loan through Celsius. I'm not allowed to. It doesn't even give me the option in the app. My question is, how do you exploit options like loaning from Celsius with very low APR and using the loaned amount to earn interest on Blockfi? So basically what this person is saying is well, if you could take out a 1% loan on Celsius and you can earn 12% in Nexo coins on Stablecoins on Nexo, why aren't you using that leverage to earn 11% on money that you're basically borrowing? You can do that. I've obviously been aware of that. I guess technically you can. You're earning interest on money that you're loaning out. That's ethical, right? I mean, it kind of just freaks me out because it seems too good to be true. But technically, yes, there is no connection between Celsius and Blockfi. And technically, on the Nexo platform, I could take out loan in USDC at 5.9%, or it's going up to 6.9, and I could hold a USDC on the on Nexo, and it's earning 12% if I earn in Nexo coins, and I think 10% if I'm earning in the like-kind coin. So yeah, you can do that, as far as I know. Hey Mariah, what's your plan in September when the bull market will end? I'm in Nexo as well, but I haven't figured out a way to secure my gains. Currently, I have some Bitcoin, some Nexo, the rest is ADA Link. If I were to sell everything now, I'd get taxed on the gain. Do you know if there's a way around that using Nexo? So there is really no way around taxes if you make that sell. The only option you really have is if you take collateral against your cryptocurrency and spend that instead. So this is the thing. Let's say, for example, you take out a loan against your 2 Bitcoin that you have. And so you have that money, and let's say you spend it all. okay, and you are just living off your regular income, but you don't really have anything more than what's covering your expenses. Like you don't have any other funds, any other investments. And then crypto drops, or Bitcoin drops 75%, which is still a possibility, you guys. Like really keep that in mind. Then your loan will not be in good standing, and they're going to basically give you 72 hours to add to your account to cover for not having enough of a credit line. And then you're in a really bad position, and then you lose your Bitcoin. So, I would say, even though the loan value ratio is like 25% on some of these, like just keep that in mind, that if, you plan on paying it off in a year, the problem is that the bull market could come in the summer. The bear market can come in the summertime, and you're not giving yourself enough wiggle room to cover. And then before you know it, you're going to be losing your Bitcoin, and they're going to be taking them from you. So let's say BTC, this is a second part of the question. Let's say BTC goes up 200K per coin. Do you think it's worth selling, even if you have to pay tax to buy the dip later and get more coins that way? I'm sure many others who are pretty new to Nexo crypto trying to figure out a great exit strategy, maybe something for future videos. Okay, so here's something to take into consideration. If it goes to 200K, most people here are going to be paying, taxes on like 150K plus gain. So, it depends where you're at, I would say. So like, let's say for example, you are in a state that doesn't have income tax. That would change my strategy compared to if it was a state that did have income tax, right? And it also depends on which tax bracket you're in, So that's something to really take into consideration, as well as short-term and long-term gains. So you need to take that into consideration. You need to take into consideration federal plus state, what tax bracket you're gonna be in. So you should take how many coins you have and, kind of see, okay, if Bitcoin goes here, it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of time, but it's worth it to just plan this all out. Take into consideration where you live, long-term versus short-term capital gains as well, and which bracket that you're in. Because, every person's going to have a completely different situation, and there's going to be a point where it makes sense to sell and a point where it doesn't make sense to sell. And you want to take also into consideration, how much the asset would need to fall for you to buy back at a better price, and take into consideration how much cash you would have on the sidelines after paying your taxes. Taxes are so fucking stupid. That's why I moved to Puerto Rico. Okay, sorry, excuse my language. Okay, hello, nice to know you, my YouTube channel. I'm so interested in Nexo loan, and I would like to ask you about the loan. When I have enough collateral, then I have to transfer to Nexo. Then can I get the collateral back? Thanks. So, when it comes to, if you are wanting to just earn interest on Nexo, you can take your coins in and out at any time. If you have used part or all of your holdings as collateral to take out a loan, then you cannot take out, let's say for example, you used one Bitcoin as collateral, you took out a loan, you have to basically pay that loan back in order to get your Bitcoin back. Next question. I noticed people who are stable, young, and in the crypto space are moving now to Costa Rica. Would you say you're already in a place that is perfect since Puerto Rico has 0% gains tax? Plan on watching your video on that topic today. Okay, so Costa Rica, this is the thing. When you move to Puerto Rico, you do not have to give up your US citizenship. Okay, the most valuable part for me about being a US citizen is the fact that I can freely visit my family whenever I want, okay? You have to think of some bad scenarios, what if one of my parents was to get sick and I needed to care for them for a long extended period of time. I think when you renounce your citizenship, you can only spend 30 days, okay? So Puerto Rico gives me 0%. There's not much less, unless there's a country out there that is basically paying you to live there and is not gonna charge you tax. You don't get much better than 0%, okay? But then there's a $5,000 donation that I'm paying, which is fine. I don't mind giving to charity. I don't think, I think this is for a whole nother day, but in my opinion, charity, it depends what the charity is, but I think a lot of them are just not ethical or trustworthy at all. So I'm very skeptical about that. I think there's better ways to help your community. People don't want handouts, people want jobs. Okay, so that's what I'm taking into consideration. A little bit of a tangent there. So unless the country is going to pay me, okay, so I get to maintain my US citizenship. I pay $5,000 a year. If you come down to Puerto Rico, you have to pay $10,000 to a charity. And I love Puerto Rico, right? It's such an easy transition, right? I don't have to change my cell phone service or my cell phone number. I have amazing friends here. I can, people speak English here. It's still the US dollar. There's not that complication of like, if you were to actually move to a foreign country, but you kind of get the cool foreign country vibes, So I feel like after 3 years, I have such deep roots here in Puerto Rico that like, I don't want to leave. My decree goes until 2035. So that gives me, another 14 years of 0% capital gains taxes. If Puerto Rico becomes a state, maybe it's only 5 years, but oh my God, Bitcoin's gonna be $1 million by then. If I could get out of here without paying taxes on, Bitcoin going from when I first started buying it, $350 to $1 million, and my cost basis is now $1 million, that's fine, I don't care. All right, next question. Hi, Mariah, I love your YouTube videos. I am also heavy into crypto, and I am planning on moving to Puerto Rico this year, and I just don't have a reliable CPA who knows how to deal with crypto. Okay, if you are looking for someone very legit, I recommend 𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝑒𝑚𝑒NDEZ, okay? His website is, I used him to file my Act 22 decree. Okay, so yeah, GEO.tax. All right, 𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝑒𝑚𝑒NDEZ, he will take care of you guys. He does a really good job. He pretty much like specializes in crypto. He's been investing in crypto himself, so he will give you like really great guidance when it comes to the capital gains portion. I wanted to file an Act 20 because I thought if I start a business here, I want to get in now. This was in 2019 because I didn't want to have to go under the new law, which required like more fees or like owning a property or having employees, basically. Like there was more to it, and I wanted to get in before that. So because I didn't really have like a business going yet, I didn't take that route. I used 𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝑒 for my, it's all under Act 60 now. It's titled differently, but when I did it, it was considered Act 22 for capital gains and Act 20 for businesses. So 𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝑒, really great resource. Okay, so then the other company that it's called PR Relocate. Okay, so relocatepuertorico.com is the URL. They, I think, charge you like a couple $1,000s for the capital gains part, and I think that they will start your business for free because they get a kickback from the government because they basically they advertise the tax incentives. So that is something to keep into consideration. This person has other questions as well. Do I do Zoom consultations? At this time, I do not do Zoom consultations. Is that something that you guys want me to provide? I'm not really sure. I can give financial advice. Can I tell you what my experience has been like? Like if it's a consultation of like moving to Puerto Rico, I will be happy to do a consultation. And he said, if so, how much? I am not sure what a reasonable amount would be. I'd be happy to tell you some tips and tricks of things that I did to make the process smoother and faster. I can give you contacts of service people that I've had positive experiences with. Do you refer your CPA to other people? Okay, so my CPA is Lance Talkington, okay? You can look him up. I use Lance because Lance has had experience when it comes to the tax incentives that used to exist, still might exist in the US Virgin Islands. He has experience when it comes to being audited because of the majority of the people there got audited. So Lance, I feel like, knows how to file your returns that you don't have any red flags. Lance also charges me $1,700 to complete my tax return, and it's just for my personal capital gains, which, I mean, I pay $0, but somehow, some way, it ends up costing $1,700 to complete this return. I think he does a local Puerto Rican return, then he also does a federal return because that's part of the process. Okay, I'm about to get into the crypto mining here in DC, but I want to move to Puerto Rico. Would your CPA know how to handle that? So I would say talking to Lance and 𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝘱𝑒 in this case would be the most beneficial. Let me see if Lance Talkington has a website. Okay, what I can say this about Lance is that the response time is less and less. I think he is very overwhelmed. I think he's very busy. You might not feel like you are being attended to very quickly, right? So that could be frustrating. especially if you have a business that's like takes, that's way more serious than my simple, return that I pay 0 taxes on. Let's see, Act 2022 solutions.com. This is, this is Lance's website. You can go there and you can read there as well. Okay, so, all right, hey Mariah, I've been trolling your videos in relation to using my crypto as collateral on a loan to buy more. Really funny context to use trolling it. You guys, I need you to make me a promise that when the bear market hits and some of you start losing money, can you please still be as nice to me as you are now? Because that always happens to the poor crypto channels. Everyone just goes at them in the comments when they start losing money in crypto, and I just ask that you don't, if you start losing money, please don't take that out on me. So this person cannot choose. I'm based in Australia, if that makes sense. Tell me what's best between like Celsius, Blockfi, Nexo, and I'll trust you. Okay, I have my money spread out, not evenly, amongst the 3 of them, okay? I have the most in Nexo, I have the most in Celsius, and I have the least in, so Nexo, Celsius, Blockfi is the order of how much I have in each of those. Technically, I think Blockfi, since it's a US-based company, is like probably the most reliable, but that's a decision and a choice that you will have to make for yourself. Hey Maria, I go by both, Maria and Mariah. In Puerto Rico, I'm Maria. Okay, saw your video on moving to Puerto Rico. Well, I saw the April Fool's prank first. I'm also moving here, or there. Could you let me know the company you used to help you with the Act 20 or 22 application? So, thankfully, I have already answered that in my previous video. Okay, this person's starting a mining company. They're gonna be here in 2 months. They're gonna at least establish residency here. Wouldn't mind doing a one-on-one with you, or if you do meetups with your base, I'll be sure to be there. Have so many questions for you. Thanks for your response. Okay, so I was thinking there are a lot of you that do want to meet with me here in Puerto Rico, and I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. So I can't handle too many people at once because then I just feel like I won't get to know anyone. So maybe like 5 people at a time. And we can maybe go to my friend Luigi's restaurant, and then like I can order like a variety of pizzas, get like a few bottles of wine. It's not like a crazy expensive place. I don't know, it probably like, and then I'll figure out how much like the food and the wine will cost. And then, you guys can all split it. You're going to have to give me free pizza if you want to hang out. And, we could just like, hang out for a couple hours and then just talk about stuff. Is that lame? Does that sound appealing to you? I would be up for that. For me, it's really hard to meet one-on-one. I just don't have enough time in the day. I think it'd be fun, right? Because then we could all like meet each other. Next question. I'm in a situation where my crypto portfolio is reaching a point where the tax implications are a potential serious concern if prices continue moving the way we expect. I already made the move from NYC to Miami, but I'm considering the Act 20 move to PR, but read online that they recently bumped the filing fees plus donations to almost $20K per year, in addition to the potential for the government to arbitrarily bump it up further in the future. Would you recommend someone like myself to still move to PR, and if so, is there a specific law accountant you would recommend in the process? Okay, so I gave all my recommendations earlier this video when it comes to my CPA is Lance Talkington. I recommend PR Relocate, and I recommend geo.tax. PR Relocate and geo.tax to file your Act 60 application. Okay, so congratulations from getting out of New York and making your way to Miami. Okay, you're gonna definitely have to figure out some serious calculations here. If I were you, okay, I would talk to Giovanni. He's gonna give you the most accurate information on here, but I would move to Puerto Rico. And there are different days or ways that you can set when you moved. So, you're like, what, I should probably just chill here till like, okay, so let's say for example that Giovanni says that you can pick the day that you moved here, you can pick the day you started your lease. Like there might be different options and flexibility of when you like moved here. Okay, so that's going to be like your new cost basis. You're gonna have to pay taxes from everything that you earned below that. But that's like your basically your cost basis from there on up. You're not paying taxes here. So you could see what they say, and then you could just be in Puerto Rico. You don't have to necessarily file your application immediately. So then you can, you could file your application. You can maybe even cancel it later if you don't want to make the move. And that might give you that could be I don't know if this is even legal. I'm just thinking of creative ideas that can give you the approach to coming to Puerto Rico. You kind of have one foot in, one foot out. But if crypto does go crazy, you're in a position to where you can, take advantage of some 0% capital gains. Okay, my understanding is right now it's $10,000 donation every year for new people applying. I think the filing fee is $750. And you know what? That $1,700 that Lance charges me, $750 of that might be the filing fee that Puerto Rico charges. So it's actually not that bad if that's the case. That's one thing. The next thing is that this is what happened. So for me, when I filed my application, I only had to pay $5,000. When the government tried to switch and bait us and go against the contract, you know what we did? We fucking sued the government. And you know what they did? They backed the fuck off. So I'm hoping if that was the case, there's more people here. We have more money to sue the government, and then so they backed off. They didn't raise it from 5,000 to people that already had decrees to 10,000. So we're basically, grandfathered in. Let's see if they try to pull that shit again. We're going to go back and we're going to sue them again. I would talk to Giovanni with your situation and, and figure it out like that, honestly. He's going to give you a better answer on when you move here, okay? What date do you take into consideration as you moved here on this day, the price was $57,000. Let's say you bought it 20, you pay taxes on the $37,000 gain, and then Bitcoin goes to, $200K, and then you pay you pay no taxes on that $143,000 gain per Bitcoin. Okay, awesome. Okay, do you mind speaking on how regular non-capital gains income is treated in Puerto Rico? Crypto interest from Gemini sales and YouTube AdSense revenue. Okay, so there is a way for me to put my YouTube AdSense revenue and put it through my Act 20. That's something I need to figure out this week, actually. I am pretty sure that the interest on the crypto in Puerto Rico is taxed as regular income. Okay, that's another question, actually, I need to ask my accountant. I need to take that into consideration as well. So I don't have clear-cut answers for you, but I'm pretty sure you have to pay regular income tax on the interest. Okay, is it the same federal tax as a state like Florida, Texas, or do people generally just from a business do it through the 4% corporate? Thanks again, you're awesome. I don't know if you can run the interest through the 4%. And then the income tax in Puerto Rico is actually kind of high. Let me see, Puerto Rico income tax rate 2020. Okay, so let's see, I think the highest bracket's 33%. Yeah, okay, so if you make over 62, hold on, let me see here. Single taxpayers, you're paying 33% on income for over $62,750. It is high. That is really, really freaking high. Okay. Hi, we just visited Puerto Rico. Awesome. Watched your videos. Do you have a good CPA that you would recommend that can, one, answer the phone and return calls, and two, deal with 1099 income for consulting services? We plan to move here ASAP. Okay, so what you guys got to do is you got to head over to Facebook, okay? And for the questions I can't answer, you're probably going to be able to find the answers in the Facebook group, or ask the question, okay? So this was going to happen. You're going to go on Facebook and you're going to type in Act 60/20/22 Puerto Rico Tax Incentive Forum. There is a magnifying glass. Click that. Put in some keywords of the question that you have. There is a bunch of threads when it comes to CPAs. I'm going to guess, since I sent an email to one of Lance's employees about a week ago, and I haven't heard back about how I think someone stole my identity because they wouldn't accept my return. I haven't heard back yet. And so ask a question in this group, and if you dig through the threads, there's plenty of recommendations on CPAs here. Then you can ask the question as well. So Act 60/20/22 Puerto Rico tax incentive forum. Okay, what is the best stablecoin for riding out a future bear market? Is the Euro stablecoin on Nexo the best one? Okay, so I have no recommendation. I don't know any knowledge about the Euro stablecoin. Okay, I'm gonna say I trust USDC the most. For me, it's easiest because I use Coinbase a lot to sell cryptocurrency. With all of the FUD that surrounds Tether, I just stay away from it because it's like, if it collapses, it's like, well, shit, I was warned, you know? So I just stay away from Tether. Next question, I have a question. When you take out a loan, can you buy crypto through the app itself? Or do you have to take the money and buy more crypto elsewhere? So technically, actually, I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, so what happens is that when you take out a loan on Nexo, you have multiple options of how to receive that loan. Okay, so I just logged into my Nexo account and I'm going to look at the exchange. So I'm pretty sure that with your loan, you could probably just buy crypto within here. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what my options are again. Okay, so these are the options on Nexo. You can get USDC or you can get Tether, all right? So let's see. Buy crypto, okay, swap coins and stable coins. So there's the buy crypto tab. So let's say you were paying with, I think the swap might be the best option. So you could borrow Tether. So if you borrow Tether through Nexo, you could use Tether to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Nexo, Bitcoin Cash, pretty much all of the coins on here. Okay, so Chainlink, Stellar, BNB, EOS, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Nexo token, Ether, and Bitcoin. So that is your option. If you take out a loan within Nexo, you keep that balance in there, and you want to change Tether for another coin, you can do it within the Nexo platform. That concludes today's Q&A. If you guys have more questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below with what your question is, okay? I'm pretty sure next video, I'm gonna be giving out one of these, so come back to the next video. The next video, yes, I'm giving away one of these in the next video. Not today's video because I want you to put questions down below in this one, but the next one will be a comment to enter for a free Ledger Nano S that I will send to you. So that's all I have for you today. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.